I mean, the world probably is learning how we can strike a right balance. While the capitalism is thriving, but on the other hand, it's not get out of the hand, get out of control. So it's a new challenge for all of us.
We're in a really worrying situation, and where there's a real danger of throwing out the baby with the bathwater. You swing away from complete deregulation to something where you have this total regulation and a stifling of everything. And there's a lot of people in America who don't believe in capitalism in any form anymore.
Now probably the U.S., small is beautiful. I mean, the government was really small government, but now we see all the government. Biden administration now is massive spending on the pandemic fighting, 2.3 trillion on the infrastructure, and the government is also launching all kind of big program. So that's what we see other countries do the same. European countries too. So China is actually, is probably strike a right balance. We have private sectors as very, very active. We have multinational. We have SOE, which does all the obligation of the lifted poverty, or maybe even subsidized from that. So I mean, the world probably is learning how we can strike a right balance. While the capitalism is thriving, but on the other hand, it's not get out of the hand. Get out of control. So it's a new challenge for all of us. But if we don't handle that well, I mean, if there will be a deglobalization, and then we need a scapegoat for that, and China is often be the scapegoat, for example. So I think how can we really strike that balance is really interesting for the economics to study, I guess.
I mean, one of the things that's happened in the U.S. is that the countervailing power of democracy has much weakened because the rent seekers, to a large extent, have taken over the government. It's not entirely true, but I mean, there used to be, if you go back to 1970, there was very little lobbying by firms in Washington, and that's exploded over the last 50 years. And I don't think it's coincidental that that's the period over which the profit share has gone up and the worker share has gone down. Now you have a much more muscular government that tends to be independent or more independent of industrial interests or of banking interests or, whatever. I don't know. Big tech is counted as industrial anymore. But, and that separation is very important. And democracy is supposed to be able to do that. It's not been doing it very well in the United States recently. A lot of people have been left out of that. And that's not just in the United States. A lot of people in Europe, with the development of populist movements and so on, who feel that they're not well represented by parliaments, which are dominated by people who have done well out of globalization, who are better educated than they are, and who have very little respect for their traditions or ways of life.
China is running on the consultative democracy and has been really attaches great importance to the well-being of the community, for example, in terms of fighting pandemic, even maybe sacrifice a little bit of individual freedom on that. So people follow the lockdown, and then they get a free, more vibrant economy now. But what I think China is a little bit, another interesting thing is that China has over 2,000 counties, has 260 cities, have a population above 1 million, and 31 province, city, municipality. They all compete with each other at all levels. So every mayor is like almost like it carry a lot of responsibility to the well-being of its citizens. Certainly, that's where I think the high economic growth comes from. But I hope that the innovation China can catch up. I mean that's where China is still is relatively late comer on that.
Yeah, I agree. you know, we're in a really worrying situation, and where, you know, there's a real danger of throwing out the baby with the bathwater sort of idea. And, you know, you swing away from complete deregulation to something where you have this total regulation and a stifling of everything. And, you know, there's a lot of people in America who don't believe in capitalism in any form anymore. And I don't think they're powerful enough to do huge damage.
Lessons for other countries to learn, for China, for the world. So what we can